Okay, Spartans, welcome to lockdown session number 12. Welcome to lockdown session number 12. So, what we're going to start off with tonight, guys, is a little bit different. It's still stability in terms of what we've done. Recently. We've focused a lot on sort of ankle, knee, hamstring, hip kind of stability. Now we're going to have a little look at sort of wrist and elbow stability. So what we're going to start off with is a little bit of wrist strength, wrist mobility. It's a really nice little circuit that you can throw in into your own warm-ups for workouts, into your own warm-ups on match days, on training days, on things like that. You don't have to do all of it, but you can do individual pieces of it. You might find that one of the moves is really helpful, or two or three of the moves are really helpful, and it can be something that you can actually put into your own workout. So what we're actually going to start off with is finger pulses. Okay, so you're actually going to come right up onto your fingertips. And what you can do is you can make that more challenging when you're up on the fingertips, is you can actually bring your weight right over the top of it, get your shoulders over the top of it, or you can sit back into it and make it a little bit easier. But all we're going to do just for the first bit is actually just pulse for a set of 30. It's just that little pulse, just up and down, just pulsing through the fingers, just pushing off. Just a set of 30. Again, just gradually, just put it at whatever level you think you need to. Again, everyone's built slightly differently. You might have dislocated fingers, broken knuckles, things like that. You know, general things that happen in rugby. Any field sports really, but anything that has you falling, it is worth working on wrist, elbow, shoulder stability as well as the lower body. So once you've done 30, I have no idea what number I've done, so you're going to move on to the next stage. And again, you can load it up by leaning forward into it. You can make it easier by leaning back into it. It's up to you which one you want to go for. So I would lean further forward into this one because I quite like this one as a one to build up on the wrists. You're going to try and come up, get your palm off the floor, but drive your knuckles into the floor. So it's from there, push up and back down. I guess that press right up, feel that flex. What you'll find pretty quickly with this one, we're going to go for another set of 30. What you'll feel pretty quickly with this one is you'll start to feel your forearm, up that back side of the forearm, really start to feel the effects. Try and make sure that you're pressing off the floor. You're actually pushing down into the floor. You're not just lifting up by using your hips, using your body, but it's that press up and back down, that press up and back down. So again, we're looking around about 30 reps for that one. Try to press right up. Again, once you've done this one, all I want you to do is just roll back, just shake out the wrist, lock out the wrists. Just a little call from Miguel there, just got a work call, that's where he's disappeared to. From there, then we're going to work into a side-to-side version of that same palm lift. So again, lifting up, knuckles being pushed into the floor. I would do this one side at a time, so you can take the other hand off the floor, you can leave it resting, it doesn't really matter. It's just not involved in this one. So what we're going to do is just into that side to side. So it's just working across each of the knuckles, trying to bring the weight across each time. So all we're looking to do is just work on that hand stability, that wrist stability, building that strength through the hands, through the forearms. Once you've done 10 out and 10 in on that side, I want you to do the same thing on the other side. So right up, 10 in, 10 out. So again, you can grade this by how much weight you lean onto it. Okay, so you make it quite easy by sitting right back into it and just having your hand out in front, or you can make it a little bit harder by leaning right over the top of it and putting a lot of weight through it. Now, it's not necessarily the harder it is or the heavier it is, the better. It is not that kind of situation. It is the best quality movement you can do under the heaviest bit. Again, once you've done about 10 of those on each side, just come back, just shake out the wrist. Guys that have just joined us, we're spending a bit of time on wrist mobility, wrist stability, building up that strength because like we've mentioned in previous weeks, ankles, knees, hips need that stability. You also need that for the upper body because any version of rugby is a version where you can fall over. So what we're going to look at, this is one of my favourites now. Really nice one. I will put it into pretty much every warm-up that I do in terms of an upper body workout. Is spread the fingers along the floor as much as you can. Spread the hands out as wide as they will go. and they will stay planted, and all I want you to do is just try and rotate the elbow. So it's trying to come from that rotation in and back out. So it's that full rotation, trying to rotate the elbow. So the elbow stays straight, but it's just that lock in, trying to twist as much as your arm will allow, and then twist back. So we're not holding a stretch, it's just that twist in, twist out, twist in, twist out. And again, we're going for around about 30 reps, quite high reps on this one. So every time that you twist in, you should feel your tricep to the back of your arms, right up by your armpit, almost lock in. You also might find that stretch right down in the wrist itself, particularly if you've been unlucky enough to have any breaks or sprains around the wrist or around the hand. You might find it. So for instance, I broke my hand a number of years ago. I can feel it quite a lot in this hand, but not so much in this hand. But it's that big twist each time. So we've got 4 or 5 more. Yeah, 4 more. So from there, guys, we're just going to come into a side-to-side motion. So again, really trying to keep that press down into the floor. And all you're going to do is you're going to lean your weight over to one side. So this hand almost completely relaxes. And then same thing to the other side. So it's just that load up one wrist more than the other. And again, you can make this harder by leaning your weight right over the top of it, or make it easier by getting your weight away from it. Your choice on this one. So again, 15 on each side. Try and get as much weight into the hand as you can, as you comfortably can. Good news is, guys, after this, there isn't a whole lot of upper body, because what you will find is this will help build up that wrist strength, that wrist stability, but it does leave the wrist feeling a little bit tender for 5-10 minutes after you've finished. So that's why I wouldn't tend to do all of it before a session, before a training session, but I will do 1 or 2 of them. That elbow rotation one in particular is one I'll almost always do. Now we get to the really, really tough ones, guys. Okay, so what we're going to look at is your backwards wrist flexibility. So everything we've done so far has kind of worked this side of the forearm. We're now going to look at working the other side. So what we're going to try and do is try and get the backs of the hands onto the floor this time. So this time, I would bring your knees in as close to your hands as you can get them, because to add weight to this one is fairly difficult on this one, unless you've been working on it for a while. So what I want you to do this time, backs of the hands are there. I've actually got my fingertips just tucked just underneath my knees. And all I'm going to do is just increase that stretch by sitting back onto my heels and then rock forward to relieve that stretch. So again, just rock back, rock forward. While you're doing that, try and press your fingernails into the floor. Try and keep the arms as straight as you can in this one. Don't worry if it is a little bit too tight and you can't fully straighten the arms, that's fine. Just keep them as straight as you can. So if you do need to have a little bit of bend in the elbows, that's fine. So again, just that rock back. We'll just go sort of 15 to 20 reps on this one. Again, once you've done that, take a few minutes just to gently go through that sort of rotation through the wrists. Try and go sort of both directions, creating that kind of figure 8, that infinity loop kind of shape through the wrists. Just getting them moving in every direction, just get them loosened up a little bit. Because we're going to do another one. One final one that's going to be again on the backs of the hands. So again, 15 to 20 reps. And then we're back onto the backs of the hands again. This time, it can be really helpful actually to create that kind of, what do they call it? Live long and prosper kind of thing if you can with your hands. And you're actually going to slide that either side of your kneecap. Because what you find is we're going to go for that elbow rotation again. So we're going to try and twist the elbows in and then out. So it's that rotation of the arms, keeping the arms straight. If you don't have your arms locked in, so if you have your hands away from your knees, I find as soon as you try to twist your elbow, your hands go with it. So I want to keep your hands in as close as you can, and it's that twist, twist each time. Again, 30 reps, just get that twist in, twist out. Fairly dynamic movement, just trying to work between the two. So trying to get that elbow pit almost facing forward away from the body, and then tucks right back in, so it's almost facing back towards your own thighs, back towards your own knees. So it's that in, out, in, out. So it comes from that rotation of the shoulders. And then the very last one, so again, you can make that heavier by leaning further forward over it, but of course, that increases the weight on the wrist joint, or you can make it a little bit more of an intense stretch with less weight on it by leaning back. As you do that rotation, Once you've done 30, we're going to come on to the knuckles. Now this one you probably need a fair bit of padding for. So if you don't have the padding, don't worry too much. Just skip this one, just loosen up the wrist, maybe go back to one of the ones we did previously. But all we're going to look at is just coming into, just rolling onto the front edge and rolling back. So it's just that shifting that weight out, shifting that weight back in. So we're building up that wrist stability in all directions of the wrist. And again, the more weight that you can lean into this, the more difficult the move is. What I would say is just be careful, because the further you lean forward, especially when you come into that move there, you make it really, really into a weakest point of your, the weakest point of your wrist. So what you don't want to do is suddenly have too much weight in that direction, because that's just going to roll over it. So we want to go nice and easy into this one, err on the side of caution with it. And again, just sort of 20-ish reps, so somewhere around that region. You can use your thumbs as brakes. Keep in mind your thumbs aren't going to be that strong if you have your entire body in there. Or you can keep your thumbs out of the way to get a little bit of extra range. It is up to you on that one. Good. Okay guys, nice work. What I want you to do is just spend just 1 minute just loosening up the wrists. Grab yourselves a drink. I've got to tinker about getting my cameras back into the right place for the rest of today's workout. So you guys grab yourselves a drink, get yourselves ready while I do this really quickly. So, just trying to get my tripod hooked up here. Now, like I said before, like I promised before, not a huge amount of upper body work on this one. You'll be glad to hear. So, what we're going to look at guys now is the next 7 minutes. Yeah, next 7 minutes is going to be leg raise based. Leg raise based. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 7 minutes. So it's going to be leg raise based. So we're going to start off with a really basic leg raise, and then it's going to get a little bit more complicated as it goes on. As you go through it, what I want you to do, I want you to go for the most challenging version each time, or the most challenging version that you can complete. If you can't do one of these moves, I want you to go back to the previous one, okay? So if you find that the third move or the fourth move is just too difficult, just go back to the first or second one and get good quality working rather than trying to do the hardest one just for the sake of it. So first movement, dead simple guys, you're going to be on your back, lower back pressed into the floor, and all I want it to be is just that basic leg raise. We're going to go for 45 seconds, pressing lower back tight in against the floor, sucking belly button away from the ceiling. That's just that pull in, back up, ready, and off we go, 45 seconds. So you're going to get 15 seconds of rest at the end of this one. So we want to try and keep the abs as engaged as possible, which is why we try to keep the lower back pressed in tight against the floor. Because what we're not training is your hip flexors, which will move your legs up and down. It's we're training the abs, which are actually going to turn your hips. So we're actually going to try and turn the hips up each time. That's actually going to become even more prevalent in the next part of the exercise, guys. Okay, because it's going to be a leg raise with a hip lift, in there as well. So got 5 more seconds in this round. Let's keep going. And time, okay guys, time. So what we've got guys, okay, is a leg raise with hip lift this time. So only 15 seconds to rest. So it's leg raise, hip lift, and back down. So each time you get to the top, lift the hips, back down. Lift the hips, back down. Going in 3, 2, 1, off we go. Let's go. So again, 45 seconds. When you get to the top, hips up, back down. Try and control that downward motion so you're not collapsing down each time. It is just that. So you're in control of that motion all the way through. Try not to thrash around. Again, like I say, these exercises, the complexity will be added a little bit to them each time. So what we're going to come into is going to be an alternating leg raise in the next round. When I say alternating, what I want is one leg will go up and down, then the other leg goes up and down. There's 2 variations, time, 15 seconds to rest. There's 2 variations, easy version, both legs up, one comes down, comes back up, and back down and back up, or the harder version, where you start at the bottom. Choose whichever one you want out of those 2 exercises. Going 2, 1, off we go. So you either have legs straight up, lower one down and back up, or the harder version where you keep them just off the floor. So if you're doing the harder version, they stay just off the floor at the bottom, so they're not actually touching. As one comes up, back down, and the other one goes up and back down. That's good. 15 seconds. So we're going into 2 variations of the scissors for the next 2. So we're going to do an up-down scissors and a side-to-side. We're going to do up-down first. Time, 15 seconds to rest, guys. 15 seconds to rest. This time the scissors are going to have both legs moving at the same time this time. So up and down. So it's going to be that, both legs up, both legs down at the same time. So it's that alternating move. Off we go. Let's go. So again, pressing lower back into the floor. Try to keep feet off the floor. Now the easier version is to go a much bigger range than this one. Harder version has a much smaller range. But you still keep your feet off the floor the whole way through. 25 seconds in. Now the good news is, guys, you're only going to do 1 round of everything. Remember, if you find any of these too challenging, just go back to one of the previous ones which you were able to do. Looks good, guys. Still got another couple of seconds. We're going to go into those scissors which go side to side this time. Time, okay guys, time. So scissors this time will go side to side. 1 foot over the top, 1 foot underneath. So you'll find this in the groin a little bit more of a challenge. Go a little bit wider. Okay, off we go. Let's go. So as that scissors come across each way, so 1 foot goes under the other, like you're doing the karaoke's or grapevines. Those crossovers, that looks good. So try and keep control, so try not to fling the legs across, so it's that control in, control back out each time. We've only got 2 more. This one will be a struggle for you as they don't know how to read. Well, the last one will be a struggle for you as they don't know how to read. I'll explain that in a minute. Okay guys, time. We're going to go into circles. Okay, so both feet together again, circles with the big toe. So what I want you to try to do, legs out, circles one direction, and then circles the other direction. You can make them as big or as small as you like. 2, 1, let's go. Good. Try and keep them under control. So remember that key thing, the lower back stays on the floor. The bigger the circle is, the harder it is to keep that lower back on the floor. But that is the important part. Now the last one is alphabets. There's 2 options. What you can try and do is try and write your name, or you can try and write the alphabet using your big toes as imaginary pens. Time, 15 seconds to rest. So you could write your name or you could write the alphabet. So same leg raise kind of position, it would be that A, B, C, and so on. So you try to make those letters. Ready, and off we go. Let's go. So try and write either your name. This is your chance to make yourself a doctor, give yourself a master's certificate, make yourself a knight of the realm. You know, whatever you want to do. That looks good from the zoom, guys. Again, you can make it cursive writing. You can do, you know, Times New Roman. You can do wingdings. Whatever font you want to try and write in. The crazier the better in this one. Last couple of seconds. Time. Okay guys, so on your feet, grab yourselves a drink. We have got a cardio section coming up. So what we've got to do now, this next block is also 7 minutes long. What you're going to do, you've got lots of different choices, okay? You've got lots of different choices. Any exercise you can think of that will elevate your heart rate will apply to this one. So just for ease of viewing on the YouTube video, I'm going to use high knees, jumping jacks, spotty dogs, and burpees. Those are the 4 that I'm going to use, but that is not an exhaustive list. Anything that gets your heart raised will be an okay exercise for this one. What we're going to do is you're going to do 60 seconds of cardio, hard as you can, followed by 60 seconds of rest. Then 50, then 40, then 30, then 20, then 10. So basically it's your rest will match the length of effort that you had to give. Whatever you choose, go for it, guys. That's what I want you to do. I just want you to go for it, get your heart rate up high as you can across that 60-second block or 50-second block. The first round you do is going to be the longest one, but you will also get loads of rest. So I'm going to choose high knees for the first block. You guys choose whatever you want. We're going to go for 1 minute in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So straight into it. So we're going for 1 minute. Just trying to get that heart rate up all the way through the minute. Stay light on the feet. Try and keep moving the entire minute. Don't allow yourself to stop. Now, if you guys want to repeat exercises, that's fine. I'm going to cycle through them. It's up to you guys. If you repeat, again, those knees coming right up, fast feet all the way through. We're over halfway through this round. Seconds left. Keep driving, keep those knees coming right up. Time. 1 minute to rest. So use this opportunity, get yourself a chance to rest. Because now you guys on the Zoom, you guys on the YouTube, you can repeat that, so you can stick with high knees if you want, or you can swap exercises. I'm going to swap to the second exercise, jumping jacks, but that's an option, okay? That is an option. It doesn't have to be done that way. Whew. It is tough to keep going to those high knees and keep talking. Again, I want you pushing that pace. We've already done the longest round. This round is only going to be 50 seconds. So 5-0. You got 10 more seconds to rest. We're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So again, you've got other options. So you could do burpees, you could do get-ups, you could do squat jumps, you could do mountain climbers, anything that gets your heart rate up halfway through. Trying to work that the whole way through. 15 seconds left. Three, 2, 1, time. That's 50 seconds done. You get 50 seconds to rest. We're down to a 40-second effort. So again, throw in whatever variations you want. So guys, if you want to do burpees next, fine. You want to do mountain climbers, you want to do bicycle crunch, you want to do squat jumps, anything that will elevate your heart rate. Any move that you can do well will elevate your heart rate. Do you have a skipping rope at home? Use a skipping rope. You know, do you have a turbo trainer? Use a turbo trainer. Maybe you have a cross trainer. Maybe you have a treadmill sitting in the bedroom. Use that. 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds. So I'm going to go into spotty dogs on this one. So that exaggerated march on the spot. Off we go. Let's go. So again, using arms and legs, demanding lots of oxygen from the heart and lungs. Halfway through. The length of the effort gets shorter. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. 40 seconds to rest. 40 seconds to rest this time. Good. So we've done 3 rounds. We've got 3 rounds left, but the last 3 rounds are much, much shorter. This takes us to 5 minutes in out of the whole 7. So we've got 2 minutes left after this. 10 seconds. Again, whatever you want that'll raise the heart rate. We're down to 30 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. Let's go. Time to using full body moves. Things that's going to really elevate my heart rate all the way through. I'm trying to keep moving. You don't have to choose burpees. You choose whatever's going to be effective for you. Time. So we've done 30. We've got 2 rounds. They come in quick succession. 20 seconds, 10 seconds. So I'm going to go back to high knees for the 20 seconds. Again, you guys choose your preferred exercise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Time. 20 seconds to recover. You got 1 more. It's only 10 seconds long. Want to give it everything you've got. 10 more seconds to rest. We are going in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Time. Time. Whew. You get a minute to rest. Grab yourselves a drink. We got 1 more round. It's only 5 minutes, the last round. There we go. So, we're back onto some core work. So these next ones are all going to be sit-up based. The first ones were all obviously leg raise based. These are sit-up based. So grab your mat, grab your towel, get yourself back onto the floor. We're just going to start off basic sit-ups. Same circuit we did before, so we're going to do 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. We're going with just regular sit-ups, 10 seconds time. Going in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So again, 45 seconds, full sit-ups. So again, lots of different variations even on that basic sit-up. So you can go for legs straight, legs bent like I have. Remember, the contraction is to pull your ribs towards your hips. So it's that curl up and that release each time. 30 seconds in. Let's keep working. Five more seconds. Time. 15 seconds to rest. So next one, guys, simple change. Soles of your feet together. So knees out to the side, soles of your feet together on this one. Going in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, off we go. So still a sit-up, soles of your feet together, so bottoms of your feet together in that position there. Knees are out wide, taking the hip flexors out of the equation as much as we can. It's good. Looks good. So we're going to go into a V-sit or a modified V-sit next, guys. So I'm going to demo that one when we're coming to the end of this. So you're going to have your hands just behind your hips. Last 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. So hands just behind your hips, and it's that lie back, tuck in, lie back, tuck in each time. Is what we're looking to do. Use your hands for balance. Going in 3, 2, 1, off we go. So that. Good, so Miguel, if you move your hands back a little bit, so rather than having them here, bring them just behind the hips, and that can help with that movement there. And you can do it your way where you're down on your forearms, which is a little bit more like a crunch, or you can do it just on the hands, where you lean back and tuck back up each time. Either one is acceptable. 30 seconds in, looks great. 10 more seconds left of this one. That's our third one already. Time, 15 seconds to rest. 2 more to go. This next one, sit up and twist. So each time that you sit up, I want you to reach up to one side, high as you can. On the next rep, I want you to sit up, reach up as high as you can on the other side. 3, 2, 1, and change. So it's that big sit up, reach on one side, big sit up, reach on the other. So it's that twist through each time. Make sure it is a big reach as well, so you're not just lifting your hands up, you're actively stretching as high as you can. Good. Really nice. You're 25 seconds in, so you've only got 20 seconds left to go. This is exercise number 4, so you've only got 1 left. The next one's going to be a crunch variation. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay guys, one more. So last one's legs elevated crunch. So what I want is legs elevated, and then it's pushing the sternum towards the ceiling. So it's that twist, push up. That's all it is. Just that legs elevated crunch. 2, 1, off we go. Good. So Sam, if you take hands out from underneath your hips, so it's either hands on the shins or hands on the head, and it's just that crunch up. So the legs don't move, it's just the upper body. That's good. And again, think about compressing the lower body, so trying to drive the belly button down towards the floor. Press the lower back into the floor, hard as you can. This is going to be it. You're already onto the last 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Well done, guys. Well done. So, just give me 2 seconds. So, for the guys watching on YouTube, short, sharp, intense tonight. A little bit of wrist strength stuff at the start, obviously. A little bit of cardio, a lot of core work in tonight. If you enjoyed that, let me know on NGPT at Permanent Performance on Facebook, or Neil Gallagher _coach on Instagram. Other than that, guys, let your team captains know. They'll get some feedback to me and I can try and implement it into future sessions. But other than that, guys, really well done. I will see you for lucky number 13, session 13 on Monday. Okay, well done, guys. Great job.